replay because I think there's a lot of like nuances that I enlisted that I didn't really talk about that are kind of hard to pick up on. So I just want to make sure that we're clear about everything that I did in that game, because I put into practice the way in which you use Broodmother to climb MMR, basically, if that makes sense. Like, I did everything in that game that you should try to do, like, as a player, when you're playing Broodmother. Like, as somebody who's trying to gain MMR, like, you should try to employ all the same tactics that I did in this game when you're picking Broodmother. Because what I did was I basically just took free MMR away from my opponents. Their draft was, like, really bad, and there was no way that they were going to win this game if I played it correctly. If literally just me played this game correctly, I think that there's no way they could have won this game, right? Like, our draft isn't super great or anything. We have kind of a greedy lineup, right? TA is somewhat of a early to mid game farmer a little bit until she gets like her big items and comes online, like Blink Deso. She's not really that useful, and she doesn't really want to join fights unless she has like a haste or a DD. And so as a result of that, right, you'd think that we'd want to draft around that idea of like, hey, like, let's let our mid take over most of the farm and kind of circumvent any problems that we could have in the farm categories, because like we have a mid that demands farm, so we don't want to take too much away from her, right? But we didn't do that at all. We picked AM, and then we picked a roaming Riki. So these lanes are kind of weak, I would argue. Up until level 6, TA doesn't really do shit against her lane opponent. She has like 0 aggressive potential. And like obviously AM has aggressive potential, but he doesn't really have any kill potential. He doesn't have any CC himself to provide. He just has like a little bit of damage, and Riki himself doesn't have too much CC himself outside of the cloud, and I guess Orb of Venom. Like, our lanes are pretty shit in the department of like looking at this game from a from the standpoint of everybody but the Broodmother. But that doesn't matter, because the Broodmother is a game-winning pick. It doesn't matter if your team, I don't think. Like, it doesn't matter if your team is accommodated with the Broodmother, or it doesn't matter if your team is even like a decent, really kind of like half-decent picks. Because if your team needs space, it doesn't matter if you have 4 cores. You're going to make so much space that your cores are going to be able to farm under the fucking sun for like years on end, right? And that's what I kind of did this game, right? We have kind of a greedy lineup with, I mean, like, even Riki roam support, like, he's good. But he kind of wants to transition a little bit into a core. He doesn't necessarily want to farm AFK-like, but the way in which he provides space isn't like as amazing as I'd say a Bounty does. Arguably. I played a little bit of Riki's roam support. And again, you usually build into carry items anyway, so you're kind of like the 4th core that is a carry at the same time. You bring a lot to the table in terms of, like, you bring more than a Bounty would in terms of damage, but you bring less than a Bounty would in terms of utility and like visibility on the enemy team. Like, you're not tracking everybody, you're not getting all this gold, you're not trying to buy too many wards, you're trying to kind of come online yourself a little bit. So our draft, I mean, it's pretty shit, like, for all intents and purposes, but it doesn't matter, because they have a solo lifestealer against you, or me, you know, whatever. They have a solo lifestealer against us, the Broodmother player, and that's just game winning right there. It's a solo lifestealer. That probably one of the worst heroes ever to send against a Brood. Probably, right? I think Chaos Knight might be worse in some areas, and it's better in some others. I mean, Lifestealer's really fucking bad, though, because he has like no armor and 0 AoE potential. To top all that off, this motherfucker started Quelling Blade, Orb of Venom. Both of these items will do absolutely nothing for this kid. And he rush boots. Like, this guy just does not know. He doesn't know what he's doing. He literally just does not know who Broodmother is, what Broodmother does. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, etc. and so forth. And as a result of that, I was like, okay, we're just going to win this game. Like, I literally was thinking right now, as I was denying him these creeps, I was like, you know, as long as my lanes don't horrendously lose for no reason. Like, these lanes, though they're kind of iffy, like, they shouldn't lose, you know what I mean? Like, Batrider's pretty good against... They're gonna Batrider Nyx in a dual lane against AM and Silencer. This lane's gonna lose, but it's dependent on, like it's kind of dependent on skill a little bit. Like, AM doesn't ever have to die. He's just gonna lose the lane, you know? He doesn't really ever have to die against this lane, though. Silencer's gonna have kind of a rough time, but if they play it correctly and just kind of sack the lane a little bit, theoretically they shouldn't die. And eventually I'm gonna be able to make all the space in the world for them, which is what I did. And this guy's going like Vanguard first straight. I don't know about that. I think he at least needs boots. I don't know too much about the AM builds though, and I'm not going to claim to know too much about him either. I'm just saying, like, you know, whatever. Like, these are 4K players, so I'm not trying to speak volumes of their skill. I mean, obviously, right? I'm against a solo fucking Lifestealer. Both my team and their team is considerably lacking in the skill department when it comes to playing this fucking video game. But I don't care about that because I'll win games solo as Broodmother if the draft deems it. So, and that's what we did this game. So we're doing the Broodmother thing. I talked about this when I was doing the game itself. I'm not trying to like really beat a dead horse here. Basically, you kind of sack your level 1, like any aggression or anything whatsoever that Broodmother has at level 1 that you think Broodmother has at level 1, just throw it away. Because Broodmother can do basically nothing at level 1. You have, like, really crappy... I mean, it's not super crappy. It's 48. But it's not great. It's like 48 base damage, I usually consider to be on the lower end of spectrum of things. Like, if it's anything that's not 50, it's usually pretty bad in my books. You know, if it's 45, 46, 47... Ricky has 41 base damage, and that's obviously because he has Backstab, his E... Cloak and Dagger, whatever the fuck. You know, you're supposed to use this to add base damage or bonus damage to your hero, but whatever. Like, some heroes have ways of compensating their shitty base damage. Batrider, for instance, has like one of the lowest base damages in the game, but he has sticky napalm to make up for it. Broodmother, you don't got shit. You got your spiders. So that's why you have to sack your level 1, because your level 1, you don't have your spiders yet, so you're not able to really start taking last hits. So you can try your absolute best to attack creeps, but even with the Quelling Blade, you're only going to be doing like roughly 60 damage at most. And so you just kind of suck. You're just gonna, I mean, 60 damage for the investment of what a Quelling Blade is, for how much it delays your Soul Ring. I don't consider that too worth it. It often takes up a slot. Don't get me wrong, Quelling Blade's not terrible on this hero, and oftentimes I will get it if I'm against heroes that like Nature's Prophet or some shit. I won't hesitate to get it in that situation. But I don't want to delay my other core items, so I don't get it. I opt out of the Quelling Blade. But yeah. So check this out. Like, I'm level 5, right? I was level 4 when I was doing this. I'm just cutting his creep wave, because there's nothing that a Lifestealer can do about this. He's not Legion, he's not Axe, he can't come over here and start spinning on my creeps or beating them to death or some shit like that. He literally just has to tank the creep wave and deal with this, right? As best he can. And let's see, does he have a stealth shield? No, he doesn't even have a stealth shield yet, because he can't get to the side shop. I'm zoning him out of the side shop. And now I'm just going to go in for a quick, easy kill, right? I go in, I get 1 auto attack because I picked up my Blightstone. I would recommend, if you're against easy fucking lineups, like super tremendously easy lineups, you should do builds like this, where you go for these, like, I'm going to call them aggressive items, but really, like, Blightstone's just a casual pickup to get into an eventual Deso anyways on Broodmother. But if you're against, like, these super easy lineups, get Orb of Venom, get Blightstone, and just start going aggressive on him. Lifestealer is like a prime example of it, because you reduce his armor to literally below 0, which means you're doing extra physical damage against him. And Orb of Venom, it's not, like, it doesn't stack, but, well, it does stack. It's just, like, your in-cap bite, you don't even have it yet, but even if you did have it, it's not an orb. Orb of Venom itself isn't technically an orb attack. It's not a unique attack modifier. It's an orb, but it's not a unique attack modifier. And Blightstone is a unique attack modifier. So you only have 1 unique attack modifier in this build, if you'll call it that. There's no redundancy, okay? And it's like such a sick combo of like, I'm slowing you constantly to stay in range of you and to have my spider stay in range of you while I maul you down while you have -2 armor in the early game, where I'm doing a bunch of physical damage with all my spiders and my main hero. You know what I mean? So, this Lifestealer at this point, I mean, like, he's died, what, twice? No, he's died once, but he will die at least 2 more times, I believe, in this lane. He rushed Phase Boots, again. You know, he's got, like, 2 points of Feast, 2 points of Rage, like whatever. Who cares, right? This guy's bad, but who cares? I'm just gonna go pick up another free kill on him, it's easy peas. I gotta stick around for a little too long. The only way Lifestealer really has anything to do against me is if he just starts right-clicking my hero, I think. Because my hero has a lot more effective HP than my spiders, so he's gonna steal a lot more life from my hero, especially when she's at full HP. And then also, furthering that, my spiders don't have that much HP to begin with, right? Like, they have like 450 spiderlings and then 150 on spider rights. If he's attacking spiders, he's doing it wrong. So I shouldn't really fuck around with him. Batrider comes in. I know Batrider is Firefly. I'm not going to fuck with Batrider. Not until Firefly's down. But I will eventually fuck with Batrider because outside of Firefly, he really has nothing to deal with me. He has Flame Break, but Flame Break at level 1 isn't going to kill anything or really do much without Firefly. I know this because I play a lot of Batrider. I'm not just saying, like, these estimates that I'm saying, they're all calculated. It's not like I'm just fucking around with your MMR trying to say, don't worry guys, you're a Broodmother, you're invincible. No, like, if you play these heroes, you get a good margin for like how aggressive and not aggressive they can be, and you start to understand, like, man, after Batrider uses Firefly, he really can't do anything against me. I'm Broodmother. This guy comes over here, he clips my sentry. I don't really care about that. I clip his sentry. I'm sitting here mauling him down. I don't think I get the kill here. Could be wrong. Yeah, I am correct here. I did not get the kill there. He has Infest. You know, there's one good thing about solo lifestealer against Broodmother, and that's that he'll get his level 6 kind of quickly if you're not killing him over and over and over again. And as a result of that, he will get... Like, Infest is a pretty good ability against Broodmother. It's on a long cooldown, but once he gets Infest, he should never die to you, I don't think, because he could just play passively after he uses... Like, he has a get-out-of-jail-free card, basically. So, Batrider comes back in. Usually around this time, people will get Dust. I was surprised he didn't TP in initially with Dust, but I knew that once he was TPing in, I was like, this guy has Dust, 100%. Checked his items, confirmed it, and I backed out. You could say, oh man, Wired, there was kill potential there. That lifesteal was half HP, and it was just a solo Batrider with Firefly. You could say that, but I've had way too many experiences where I've been testing the waters of trying to play too aggressive, trying to get too many kills as Broodmother, and I'll just lose the game for my team because I'll die early, feed a lot of gold, and give up my advantage. So I backed off there because I am, you know, trying to play safe. I'm trying to get a free win. I'm not trying to fuck around. Like, I know that if I just continue to play passively from this, well, aggressively, passive-aggressively, whatever. Like, I put on pressure, but when they show that they want to, like, up my ante of pressure, like, oh, you want to rape our team? Well, we'll just send 3 heroes to your lane. I'll back off, because I don't want to screw with 3 heroes when one of them has Dust. It's too late for Dust to be super effective against me. It's not going to slow my movement speed to a crawl. All it's going to do is reveal me. So if I play intelligently and play near the shadows, I can always make it out against their team, and I know that in my mind. I know that I'm pretty much invincible against these guys if I play it intelligently, so that's what I'm trying to do. So I come over here, Lifestealer's over here. I'm just trying to burn dusts at this point, burn dusts at this point. And there, like, he dusted me, but he got me, so I'm like, you know, I'm just going to play this safe and chill over here. I actually want to check something, because this was kind of dangerous. There's some danger here. Let me check from his perspective, because I was kind of looking at my spiders. I wasn't trying to feed me or my spiders at the same time. So he comes over here, he dusts me, and he actually did hit me there. 1 second. He's walking over here, because they see me cutting the wave, and they're like, okay, let's go kill him. They have a sentry right there, so that... Yeah, okay, so I didn't know that they had a sentry there. It didn't block their camp, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it didn't block their camp. He's gonna come over, he saw me backing off, and he's like, yo, man, I'll totally dust this Broodmother, we'll kill him, even though we're under a sentry, and we know she's not here. They dusted me, they did hit me, but like I said, I'm on this low ground, they didn't know that. I think if he had used Firefly, he might have been able to see me from over the cliff, but... Whatever. I'm not going to say that I got lucky there, but certainly I was kind of scared there, because I was chilling right here on the... I was chilling right here on the low ground without any vision of the higher ground. So if Batrider was level 6, or if he was even level 5 with Flame Break, which I knew he had Flame Break, he could have just, like, used Flame Break on me from the low ground, pumped me up on the high ground, and I could have been in a very dangerous spot when I was dusted. So maybe that was a dangerous situation to be in. But I didn't die, nothing bad happened, so whatever. So anyways, we'll back up, because some aggression happened. We'll talk about this real quick. So we go back to farming after that dust wears off, and keep in mind, right? Let's just check the net worth. I'm at the highest, right? I'm above everybody else, pretty much bar none. Anti-Mage is close, but that's because I'm literally making a free lane for that guy. He's against the solo Nyx now because I've dragged their Necro, I dragged their Lifestealer, I mean, kind of. Lifestealer's already here. Dragged their Bloodseeker, and now I'm dragging their Batrider up here. Every hero up under the sun is in my lane right now, trying to deal with me as a threat. And my team is responding quite well to this. They're like, yo, this Broodmother's got, like, free kills up here if we go to her lane and, you know, give a Ricky Cloud or, like, a Smoke or some shit, or not a Smoke, Ricky Cloud and a Silence. So my team's kind of responding well to this, kind of. I think they could play a lot more intelligently, but overall they're not doing poorly by any stretch of imagination. So their team is getting pulled up here. My team is coming with their team, and we should be able to get some kills up here. Yeah, sure, maybe this Ricky's going to die, maybe the Silencer's going to die. But what's important is we're making a lot of space for my core. This is why Broodmother's a good pick. One of the reasons. This is, you know, I always say that. I'm not going to say that the only reason Broodmother's good is because she makes space, but this is a huge reason why Broodmother's good. It's because she makes oodles of space, just obscene amounts of space. Like, my anti-mage has nothing to... Who on their team does my anti-mage actually have to worry about? Check it out, check it out. Think about this for a second. Not from Broodmother's perspective, but from anti-mage's perspective. They have a Nyx who's backing off from the lane. I don't know why. But then they have 3 heroes up here, a 4th one that was going back to base. My anti-mage has a literal free lane, 100%. He rushed Vanguard. I honestly think this guy is not that intelligent for rushing Vanguard, just because he didn't join in on these fights. And if you're not fighting with this kind of build or taking super aggressive farm, you shouldn't even do it. You should just rush Battle Fury, in my opinion, and be like, yo, my Broodmother's making years worth of space for me. I'm just going to go rush Battle Fury and get 6 slotted as soon as possible. Because that's what happened this game. But whatever, it's a pub, we're not coordinated, he didn't know that. I'm not gonna hold it against him too much. You know, he'll probably think in his mind. He probably was thinking in his mind like, hey, next time I play with the Broodmother, if she's owning this hard, I should just rush Battle Fear and get 6-slotted really quickly. But whatever, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about that too much because we're talking about Broodmother. I got a kill on their Necro. We traded kills for the Silencer. Silencer for the Necro. I'm probably gonna get a second kill here. If I don't, I'll at least be making this guy go back to base. But no, we got a kill on him. Use my ulti. I know there's Bat Rider back here. We're trying to still play safe though. I'm farming the wave still with my creeps, and we see 2 heroes here, and I'm just like, you know, fuck it. I don't really need to go aggressive. They did hit the Riki with this, which is unfortunate because I think Riki dies here. Yep. This is why you shouldn't pick Riki when you have a Broodmother on your team, but whatever. This is like the scariest part for me throughout the entire game. I know that if this Bat Rider was intelligent and just went in the direction that I went, he could very easily find me, and I had dust on me. I don't have dust on me anymore. But they also have a Nyx here, so if I was dusted, and if they have another dust especially, do they? Nyx doesn't have a dust. Bat Rider does not have another dust. Well, he does, but it's on cooldown. If they had just been a little bit intelligent there, they probably could have gotten a kill on me. I think. If they just went in the right direction immediately. I'm not entirely sure, but that was a scare. I remember this moment in the game, I was like really afraid of dying there. But whatever. So we live here, because 4K. And we're backing off. And we're playing safe, but also calculated. Like, we're not trying to completely we're not trying to say, yo, they've got 4 heroes up here, let me just fuck off. We're trying to say, hey, they have a lot of people up here, how can I still get farm? You know, because that's the thing that you need to ask yourself as a Broodmother, is like, I'm making all this space, but how can I even make more space, like, or not make more space, but how can I not be content with just what I have? How can I min-max the hero and say, hey, you have 4 heroes in my lane, I'm still going to farm? You know, no matter how many people you send top, how can I still find something to take from your team? And the answer is, you just let them push out the lane, you back all the way off, you farm it, you stay in the tree line, you get your spider army going again, and then you go into the jungle and you farm creeps that way. And you just rotate between like where they are. You know, if you see 1 or 2 of them in the lane looking for you, then you should be in the jungle, not looking for them, right? And here I am just like being annoyed with this Bat Rider. I'm like, you know, I've got spiders, and if he wants to pop Firefly for my spiders, he's not going to kill him 100%. He's going to sit here and pop a Flame Break, you know, basically just as bad. It's even more mana than Firefly. And, you know, you didn't really do anything there, so whatever. It's a 4K game. Gonna sit here and poke him down. I was thinking in my mind, I was like, you know, I could probably kill this guy right now. But, I mean, he has Firefly. There's no reason why I should be able to kill this guy, so I'm not gonna go for that. It'll probably just be a waste of my time. So I'll get my Oblivion Staff. Oblivion Staff first is a solid pickup. And there, like, he popped his Firefly eventually. He got like 2 spider kills, but that's just kind of like your okay, there you go, Firefly. Like, I'm just kind of, I mean, if I was better at micromanagement, he probably wouldn't have killed any either. But it still wasn't worth it. I don't consider that, because he puts his ability on cooldown, lost like half his health. You know, just little nuanceical things that you do as Broodmother that piss people off. You know, you force their hand, you force them to do stuff. And this, there's no reason why this should be a free kill once I pick up my Echo Saber. I guess you could argue like, what if he ultis? But no, this guy's dead. You know, he's just fucking dead, boys. That is level 2 ulti, Echo Saber, and hitting targets that have their back turned to you. Like, even if he tried to turn around and use his ulti on me just to stun me, I still think I would have gotten a kill there, because like just the burst and the fact that his turn rate would have made his animations kind of slower. Like, he would have had to turn around and cast his ulti on me, so I kind of abused the fact. You kind of treat it like a Riki, right? You're trying to backstab them. You're trying to make them turn around and bullshit like that. You know, Necro's like a pretty slow turn rate, so it's not like he's going to be able to turn around and cuck me super hard. Maybe if he cubed there, like right at the start of the engagement, he kind of would have prolonged his life, but we still had the silence. That kid was dead, 100%. Comes back in. I don't really want to like test the waters with my Spiderlings just yet, because he has that free regen from the fountain that if he just queued, he'd get a free queue off and just farm some spiders, or at least do damage to them. And look, this Lifestealer can't farm shit. He bought his own dust, which is funny. Super funny when their cores start buying dust. Gets a kill off it, because like again, you probably shouldn't be picking Riki with a Broodmother regime. I still find a way to get a kill. I get ruptured here, but I notice that I'm not dusted, so I don't mind moving just a little bit, right? Like, And then I get dust again, and here I thought I was dead. I was like, dude, I'm fucking dead here. There's no way. So I say fuck it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bother. Some people, some broodmothers that are like super pro can micro their spiders and not feed their spiders. I'm so concerned with my life here that I'm just like, fuck the spiders for a second. You know, okay, Batrider, you can get the spider farm if you want. They redusted, and at this point I'm like, I'm fucking dead. There's no way that they kill me, that I live here. But then for whatever reason, after they redust, they back off, and I live, which is super cool. To not die here was awesome. It's so awesome that I didn't die at all this game, pretty much. Up until the point where it didn't really matter. When it was too late and the game was over, I was just kind of like, yeah, fuck it. Like, when I died in this game, I knew that this game was still kind of in the bag. Like, I gave a lot of gold to a target that could have turned that into kills. You know, 1,300 gold on the Nyx is probably not something that you should, you know... It's good. 1,300 gold on the Nyx was good, but like they didn't win the game with it, so it wasn't a big deal when I died. But anyways, backed off, didn't die. Like I said, that's super cool. Come back and I'm still farming. I'm just returned right into farming. Like we have some vision up on the map, and most importantly, most of all, right? I know that I just burned a lot of their resources. Like they used like 3 or 4 dusts there in that whole engagement. That's like a war of attrition right there. Like. You're just forcing out all these hands and this money from people that really can't afford to be popping all this money. Like, Lifestealer doesn't have the money to be thrown away on, like, dusts, right? It's 15 minutes in, and he doesn't even have his first item yet. This guy is destroyed in terms of his ability to have impact this game. Like, the only way he wins this game is if he gets carried at 110%. This guy comes over, dusts yet again, and let's just think about, like, I bet 6, maybe even 7 dusts have been used on me this game. They got some Ricky kills out of it, which, again, you know, don't pick Ricky against this hero. But if we're just talking about me alone, I bet I've burned like 1,000 gold on just dust alone. If every dust is worth 90 gold, nah, maybe not 1,000, but like when you take into account sentry cost too, like I've burned way more than any normal, you know, invisible hero should burn, and that's because Broodmother doesn't just. Like, you don't just want to kill the Broodmother. You want to stop her, like, you want to stop her from farming. You want to stop her from making space. So when you're going to kill a Broodmother, it's not like you're in the middle of a team fight and you're like, oh, we have to have dust for this Broodmother. It's like, yo, let's go kill this Broodmother and use dust on her to kill her then. And if you don't get anything from it, it's just a waste of dust. Whereas a Ricky is going to be roaming around, so he comes to you. So it's not like you ever say, yo, let's go into the jungle and kill and find their Ricky. No, it's like, let's just, you know, hope that when the Ricky shows up in a team fight, we can use dust on him and kill him. Like, Broodmother gets more dust, I think, used on her than, like, Ricky does. For that very reason alone. You go to Broodmother's lane, and you try to kill Broodmother. And so if you are unsuccessful in that venture, then you definitely wasted a dust, and you need to use another dust. Ricky he's going to roam to you. Bounty Hunter's going to roam to you. So you save your dust, and you don't go out looking for the kill, if that makes any sense. And look, there's still more heroes on my lane. Like, we just killed, what, that Necro, and the Bloodseeker's dead, and this Nyx is even on my side of the map. And this kid is TPing in again. And there's, I mean, like, look at how many heroes that they're devoting to the top side of the map, right? Only Lifestealer's on the bottom side farming that. Which is fair. They're getting pushed in. They're having a hard time dealing with this threat that is the Broodmother. But it just goes to show the space that's being made here. Like, my anti-mage, 100% free farm. This guy should, I'd argue he should have more net worth than me, but, you know, I'm getting a lot of kills, so maybe that's not fair. Either way, like, yeah, it's mostly the kill thing. Like, I'm 8-0 right now, so of course I'm going to have more net worth. But this guy probably should have a little bit more. Like, if you're a free-farming anti-mage, essentially, like, he had a rough time in the first few minutes, but if you're a free-farming anti-mage for any more than, like, 14 or 15 minutes, I don't think you should have any less than, like, 400 GPM, regardless of whether or not you have a Battle Fury. Free-farming anti-mage means max blink, and you just blink around from camp to camp with your auto-attack. Which should be enough, I think, to be able to secure 400 to 500 GPM, but whatever. So I had my BKB. I went BKB right after Echo Saber this game. We could talk about both those items. So I didn't go Midas this game because I was owning so hard. I was like, why throw my early game advantages away by going a Midas? Like, I have so much aggressive potential, especially if my team roams like they did, that there's no reason for me to go a Midas in a game where I'm owning this hard. I should just get like something like an Echo Saber or a Deso and try to wreck them. And the reason I went for Echo Saber is because Echo Saber is disgusting with level 11 Brood. It's like, it's actually just bonkers how much burst damage you have when you have an Echo Saber and your level 2 ulti. It also helps you Like, I know that I said in the guide one thing about how the stats are kind of inconsequential, but it is nice to tank up in a game where so many people are trying to kill you. I know that Deso here Deso means 200 less health, and it's kind of unappealing to me. I'm not really concerned. If 4 people are constantly in your lane, you're not trying to kill that tier 2. You're just trying to stay alive and take what farm you can. And if that's the case, then you just want to, like I said, you want to stay alive and take farm. Staying alive is really nice with Echo Saber, and taking farm is pretty nice because it gives you a little bit of mana regen too, because it builds out of the Oblivion staff. Like, I really like Echo Saber when it comes to just staying alive. If you're trying to get a first item and you just have so many people on your lane, then fuck up Echo Saber, just get a BKB first, or just get a Blink Dagger. But in this game, I was owning really hard. I knew I had aggressive potential. I didn't need to get a Blink Dagger. I didn't need to get a BKB. Excuse me. I literally just needed to get on these kids and kill them and get out. And Echo Saber helps me with all of that, so that's why I went Echo Saber first. After that, I went BKB because they're still so hardcore in my lane. I don't even actually think I got as much effectiveness out of BKB as I could have. Like, I could have made more out of this BKB than I did, but we still got some. I'd say we got a fair bit of value out of the item, so I don't feel bad about purchasing it. Second item, I just think I probably could have done more with it. You know what I mean? I could have gotten up in their face more. Like, I have a goddamn BKB at 19 minutes in the game with an Echo Saber as a Broodmother. Like, I have insane burst damage potential right now. If I ever have enough mana for my ulti, I should just walk up to people, BKB, ulti, and force them to do everything. Like, force 5 TPs, and 6 TPs, force, like, a 10v10 Dota, like, their entire team, and Roshan to TP onto that lane just to save that guy, because BKB is going to keep me invincible against them. And my right clicks with Echo Saber are just going to maul them to pieces. So they're going to need somebody else to come there and threaten me to kill me. Also, BKB is nice because, as I mentioned before, BKB purges you. It's kind of like a really cheap... Not cheap. It's not cheap at all. It's 4k gold. It's not as cheap as Diffusal, but in some ways it's better than Diffusal. It purges off dust. It doesn't keep dust off of you. If they dust after you BKB, then you purge it. If they dust after you BKB, then it doesn't purge off the dust that's on that they just used. Like, dust will apply to a Broodmother with the BKB active, but dust will not remain applied to a Broodmother that got dusted and then BKB'd, because it purges it off. Purges it off, as I mentioned. So we're still being annoying. Look at this. Like, they've got at least 2 people in this lane. I'm kind of curious. How many people do they have in this lane? So Nyx put up a Broodmother ward. That's peculiar. And they have the Batrider over here. They have Nyx and this motherfucker. And what's on that courier, I wonder? Nyx has a gem at this point. I didn't actually know that Nyx had a gem this early. I thought he got a gem after he killed me, not before. But they put up that Broodmother ward. And I'm like, you know... Even though there's probably 2, maybe even 3 people in this lane because I don't have the wards up to see them, I'm still going to try to take farm. I'm still going to try to be aggressive because, you know, like I said, it's all about taking what you can and getting what you can out of the lane. That's exactly what I did this game. So we're chilling. I actually wonder, with that Broodmother ward, do they see me? Yeah, they kind of do. So they ping over here. Yeah, this is unfortunate. This is where I die. This is where I'm sad panda as fuck. Oh my god, I'm so sad panda. This is 3 heroes devoted to killing me, right? But they still got it. This sucks. And I don't even think they would have killed me if it wasn't for the Necro ulti. Because, look, this is so sad. And that's my death. And we'll just check the net worth charts, right? This is what happens when a brood dies. Okay. Oh, fuck over. Net worth. Let's back up. Watch the gold swings. We're at 41,000 to 23,000. We are owning this game. And then just in my death alone... Hey, what the heck? 41 to... What? I'm a little confused. Our net worth went up. Is it because somebody took a tower at the same time? Well, their net worth definitely skyrocketed. It went from 23,000 to almost 25,000. They got nearly 2,000 gold off of killing my ass. That's absurd. You know? This guy just got like... Was he at like 0? He got 1,300 gold. How much did the Lifestealer get? 1,300 on the Nyx. Lifestealer got 600, and what, the Necro probably got a pretty hefty sum as well. Yeah, Necro got like 700 himself. 600 himself. A lot of gold was gained there, and that's really unfortunate. You don't ever want that to, like, I mean, I don't need to tell you this, but you don't ever want that to happen as a Broodmother. But it usually happens like at least once a game. It's really tricky to like. The Knicks had a gem, and I could have clicked on his items, I think, if I had seen him sooner. But like, they have wards up here and shit. You have to be very preventative to like, stop all of their. If 3 people want to kill you, I always say this: if 3 people want to kill you in the game of Dota 2, and they try hard enough, they'll probably kill you. You can't do too much about that if they're clever enough. But thank God for Jesus Christ, my team is putting in some work. Right? They're not getting an exactly even trade by any stretch of the imagination, but they're doing things around the map. They're not just. It's not like I died there and I looked at the map and was like, "Yo, my anti-mage is farming our hard camp all the way over here." Like, what in the actual fuck, right? It's like my team's actually doing something. I wish this AM was just applying more pressure. I just wish my team knew how to play with the Broodmother. This guy, it's 21 minutes in, almost 22, and I think I just feel like he should have so much more than he already has. He does have 500 GPM. It's just like it's 22 minutes. And he went Vlad's. Like, he went Vanguard first, and after Battle Fury, he got Vlad's, Like, dude, play more aggressively than that. Get a Yasha. Don't go Vlad's first when you have a Broodmother on your team. I don't know. I could probably tell people that. That's the thing, is I could probably tolerate to tell people that. At the start of the game as a Broodmother, you should probably just mention it to your team, something like, hey guys, I'm Broodmother. I'm going to make a lot of space for you guys, which means, at least in my opinion, that you guys should try to take more aggressive farm than you normally would. If they're going to devote this much to my lane, like 3 heroes constantly to my lane, and they're not even going to get anything out of it, you guys should take those extra few creeps that you didn't think you could take, because we know exactly where the enemy team is, But anyways, so I didn't take my own racks. Broodmother's not nearly as much of a rat as you may think. I'm actually kind of grouping with my team here. I'm using my spiders. Spiders do a fair bit of damage to towers. They do like 70%. Spiderites do 70% of their normal damage. Spiderlings do like 50% of their normal damage, but Spiderites have less damage than Spiderlings, so it's about the same. Spiderlings and Spiderites, for every one Spiderling, you probably are doing about 10 damage to a tower, and since they have like 7 armor, it's in realism it's probably like 6. It's not like your spiders are going to do a fuck ton of damage, right? Towers are going to... Oh, not 6. What am I saying? 10 armor, what's the physical damage reduction? 30%. Your Spiderlings are probably only going to do like 3 or 4 damage every time they smack a tower. The point of the issue is that you have like 20 spiders. So you're going to do like 3 or 4 damage per spider, but you're going to have like 20 of them. So you're going to be doing about 60 damage a swipe. You know what I mean? So you're kind of actually going to be mauling down the Raxes as your spiders are mauling on the Raxes themselves. The important thing to note is that you're pressing the issues. If people see a bunch of spiders on their Raxes, they're going to want to respond to that and do something about that, So you're forcing their hand, so to speak. And also, since they do damage, I mean, even though it's not a whole lot of damage, it's some damage, so it's eventually going to kill the Rax. So we take a semi-favorable engagement. Killer range barracks. Ugh. And I just go back to the jungle farming, because really there's not too much happening. I have to play safely, though, and I think I do that. Because look, like, they still have the gem. I don't know where the Nyx is, and just not knowing where the Nyx is enough reason for me to just chill. And so I'm chilling. Looking all around the map. I probably should have bought a few more wards for myself, but I don't have slots for them. It's kind of awkward to buy wards when you really kind of don't too much have slots. You could argue I could trade out the Soul Ring, but I would say I can't really afford to trade out Soul Ring. I wouldn't have mana otherwise. Should use spiders more often, like I've mentioned earlier. It's my biggest downfall, I think, as a Broodmother player, is my inability to watch the map closely enough to avoid those first few deaths. Like, I think a Broodmother will probably always die about once a game, because at some point every enemy team is just going to be like, alright, let's group up as 5, go in the jungle, smoke, and kill this fucking Brood. But I could probably die less than I do. And that's where I think that's one area. The other area is that I should use spiders more. I should be more crafty with my spider usage. So here I go in, we used Global Silence, and we only got the Bloodseeker. Did we? I don't even think we did. It doesn't feel like we got that Bloodseeker kill. Did he buy back? No, we didn't even get that Bloodseeker kill because he just TP'd out, I think, or whatever. My brain totally, like, pooped out. So I was like, fuck this, dude. I'm going in, I'm a BKB up, and then the Bat Rider ults me, and then I back off, and... trade some right clicks, but ultimately this is just a skirmish. We don't really... It doesn't really amount to too much, other than I guess we get a kill on a Necro somewhere. And then we got like all lanes pushing. And at this point I know the game's over. I'm like, this game's fucking over. I go ham here. Don't even need my BKB because he's not going to ult me or anything like that. Take another X. The beauty of Brood's ulti is that it's on a 45-second cooldown, so it's almost up again. Lasts for 14 seconds, so in actuality it's like a 31-second cooldown. When you think of it from, you know, uptime. And yeah, that's Megas. This is a 28-minute, kind of a 28-minute GG. I mean, this game is 100% over at this point. If you want to look at percentages for like whether or not the Dire can actually come back, you know, this game is officially over 110%. There's no way. If I fed my life, Anti-Mage fed his life. If all 5 of us went and suicided on them right now, they couldn't even do anything about it because we have all of our towers up. This game is 110% over right now. And, yeah, so with Broodmother, you know, 28-minute GG. You're going to either end the game soon or you're going to end the game long and drawn out and probably not win it, you know? Kind of like Huskar in that regard. You get monstrously fed in the early game, and if you can't do anything with it, you're going to just eventually lose the game. Because there are heroes that do your job better than you do. But you're pretty fucking good. I'd say Brood's pretty strong in the late game. It's just like, she doesn't have the same factor of spider, of making as much space as she kind of once did, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much Broodmother in a nutshell. And